Hello and welcome to the Fab Show. Today we are going to be talking about a question. Is your glass half full or half empty? And what does that really mean? Today, our subject matter experts, our fabulous panel, is going to explore that, and so that you can explore your own fabulous lives. We consider this a part of what we're calling the Legacy Series. So, are you ready? Let's talk. Today I'm joined by many of my friends, and yes, they are truly my fabulous friends. We are going to go around, and anybody that knows the show knows that I consider it like you're here with us at our home. We've got the door open, people come and go. Some are going to be here with us live on camera. You in the studio audience are equally as important. So we want to hear from you. We want to hear you comment. And if you are in any other medium, we want you on Facebook and YouTube to be able to say what it is that you want to share with us. So I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to start with, to my left, our gentleman today. Love him. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you are, and then we're going to get to it, okay?
Hi, I'm Jaime Gehly.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you, Jamie, so we're going to... we're going to go to Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Meyer. I'm known as the Health Muse, and I'm in Rimrock, Arizona, which is 15 minutes south of Sedona and drop dead gorgeous.
Love it, love it. Sounding great. Okay. Angel Marie.
Hi, I'm Angel Marie. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and who I am is powerful, loving, and intuitive, and I choose to live my life with integrity, honesty, and love. And I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
I love it. Love it. Okay. In fact, love it. Nori?
I'm Nori Love. I am a life doula and personal coach, and I am in magical Berkeley Springs, West Virginia.
Magical. There we go. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh, I'm Jaime Gehly. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm a documentary filmmaker, musician, and I'm happy to be here.
We are glad you're here too. And of course, I'm Tamara Hunter. I'm your host, and I am in the Ozarks, the middle of the country. Some call it the heartland. Okay, so let's get to it. We're going to have a lot of fun today. And we're going to start because I started it with this jar, and it's got some liquid. Is it half full or half empty? We're going to go into a video and then start discussing this.
Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Nori Love, your favorite life doula and coach. Well, maybe not, but maybe someday I could be. I'm so happy to be here to talk with you today about the glass half full or the glass half empty. So when we think about how we perceive this, is it half empty or is it half full? Where is that judgment coming from? It's coming from our thoughts, but where are our thoughts coming from? Our thoughts are coming from our feeling. So today, I'm going to share with you a really fun way to use our thoughts and our feelings to begin to walk our thoughts and feelings up the vibrational scale so that we not only have a glass 3/4 full, more full, very full, not half empty, not half full, but almost full to overflowing. I can't wait to share this secret tool with you, and you'll be able to use it anytime, anywhere. You don't have to have this, you just have to remember it. And I'm so excited to share that with you today. Thanks for having me. Thanks for being here.
So you're going to share with us a little bit more in regards to this. Can't wait.
Absolutely. So thoughts are energy, our feelings are energy, and every feeling and every thought in between the lowest low and the highest high has a frequency, it has a vibration. And at the bottom of the emotional vibrational scale, you would find shame and despair, victimhood, humiliation. At the top, you'd find unconditional love and forgiveness and empowerment. But have you ever had a day where you've been, just in one of those moods where you were in an emotional state and you couldn't kind of get yourself out of the negativity? Well, let's pretend that we're looking at this as half empty. It's half empty today, but we're going to walk up the vibrational emotional scale by choosing our thoughts on purpose. So I'm going to use crystals to represent our thoughts. So let's see. Well, what could I think? Water. It rained last night and my flowers bloomed this morning. They were so colorful and magnificent and they smelled amazing. And speaking of smelling, oh my God, the smell of the rain this morning when I went outside was so delightful. And the sun was shining and I'm going to get to play in the sun today. And well, oh, look at all those dishes. I wish my significant other would do the dish. No, what thought feels better? Well, he really is, or she really is, very helpful and thoughtful. And the dishes always do get done. Mm-hmm. And our relationship is really quite amazing. And I love our home, and I love our cat, and I love our dog. And now, by thinking what thought feels better, each thought feeling a little bit better, we're almost to overflowing.
I love it.
Isn't that fun? So you can do this at any time. If you're, let's pick a significant other because it's easy to, bump up energy against them, right? Oh, he's so weird. Wait, let me think of his positive or her positive aspects. He always makes me laugh. She always gives me a hug before she leaves. Right? Any thought that we could just insert instead of going with the heavier, lower vibrational thought is going to raise our vibration, and we can actually take ourselves to the top of the emotional vibrational scale, which is unconditional love. How does it get better than that?
You know what? Absolutely. In fact, Jamie, isn't there science having to do with that?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to show a clip that you submitted, and it has to do with a movie that you've just created recently, and it piggybacks beautifully off of what Nori just shared, right?
Yeah, I was on the same wavelength as what she's going on here, and I figured
we're having a little bit of a hard time hearing you. If you can turn up your mic just a little bit. And in fact, we're going to play the clip right now, and then we'll come back. Okay.
You may be familiar with the law of attraction. It stems around the idea that having positive or negative thoughts could attract positive or negative experiences into one's life. Or that if you merely believe something to be true, that the universe can be influenced into making it become a reality. While this may sound like a pseudoscience, many researchers are finding evidence supporting the fact that our thoughts may have an effect on the physical world around us. We have seen fascinating experiments done with water showing how it can be influenced by our thoughts and intentions. Chinese scientist Dr. Emoto dedicated his lifetime of research towards finding a better understanding of this phenomenon. One such experiment involved taking photographs through a microscope of the crystallization pattern of frozen water. This was done by adding various words onto the container, words like love, hate, peace, and many others to see what kind of effect this would have over the crystallization pattern of the water as it freezes. He believes that this was based mainly on a person's intentions and that the word merely acted as a means to channel this intention. It was later discovered that the person handling the water left a distinguishable imprint that could be traced back to that individual. Another example of this phenomenon is Dr. Emoto's rice experiment, which is one that you can do by yourself at home. To do this, take 2 clean mason jars and some white rice. Boil the white rice and then put equal amounts in each jar. Put the lid on and write love on one jar and hate on the other jar. Now, over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks, spend at least 1 minute each day focusing on that jar and projecting that emotion into the jar. So the one labeled love, project love. The one labeled hate, project hate. Usually within about 10 or 11 days, you should see some results. Many have reported similar findings using apple slices. Try and keep an open mind and an optimistic view when conducting this experiment. This is important because if your thoughts and intentions have an effect over the rice, your doubt could have a negative impact on the experiment. Considering the effect that our thoughts have on things like rice and water, and the fact that our bodies are made out of primarily water, imagine what our thoughts must do to each other.
Can you believe that, Nori? I mean, here we go. And oh, by the way, yeah, for my water that I have right here, I decided that yes, I'm putting love on mine, and I'm going to be thinking about love into my loving water. So there we go. All right, so go ahead.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, I was on the same wavelength as what we were speaking about earlier. I just figured there had to be some sort of scientific evidence to support this, and so I started researching it more and found Dr. Emoto and the experiments he has done. And he's really worth looking into. He's done a lot of different experiments with water and writing words on different water bottles, and the results have been pretty phenomenal.
And
so,
the word that you both used was our thoughts. Our thoughts have a lot to do with our glass being half full and half empty. I'm going to bring Nori back in here. Nori, you know, what are you thinking about this? Here you submit. You guys did not know each other's videos. And for the production team, we saw these coming in and we're like, oh, this is quite nice, piggybacking off of the two of you. So what in the idea of, and we're talking about, it's not just water, half full, half empty. It's the glass, half full, half empty. So what was it that water resonated with you in regards to the subject?
Actually, I'm going to leave water aside for 1 minute because when you asked me what I was thinking, I'm thinking that you began to create the energy of this show, right? By having conversations with all of us. And all of us were on the same wavelength. And that wavelength became amplified with every person that came on board. And that's why Jamie and mine and yours and Angel's and Cheryl's are all going to sync today, because it was the intention of the vibration of their intention was so powerful that it came together. That's how it works.
Beautiful. And I see you over there, our energizing bunny, you know, Angel Marie. What is it that you want to share in regards to that right now?
I'd like to share that our vibrational field in our water, his work is 20 years ago, and it is so beautiful because when we really nurture our bodies, we're 87% water, and that vibrational field, it is, and I'm considered the water pusher because we put words everywhere. And the words that we really talk about is the positive ones, and how you will never hear me say, I have lupus, fibromyalgia, arthritis. I always say, I'm diagnosed. It is everything in our words. and our water and how we drink our water. And I don't mean what water we drink, which is very important, but what also is how do we drink that? Do we just drink it and let it go? How are we really doing that? It is the field of vibration that brings us together. All of us here today that is here, and then you viewers, you're here because why? Because your vibration said, ooh, I want that. I want that. And that is a field of vibration. So thank you.
Thank you. And Cheryl, okay, I know that we're kind of going off with the water thing, but I think it's very important because one thing that one of our studio audience right now, Skip, is here, and he in our organization that we support here at the show often talks about flow, the flow of things, you know, and that water is going to flow. And you've come into the organization quite a few times, and it is because of the work that you've done that I have to say, co-hosting with Angel Marie many times where the ding goes off. And if you guys hear a ding go off during the show, yes, it's intentional because she has a ding that goes off to remind to sip water. Yet you've really talked to us about the importance of so much. Water has been one of the things, and I will say to you that I think in terms of living, loving water and understanding so much more that flows out in regards to, and then going back to the half full, half empty. I want to say thank you for that and see what it is, because you did submit your video. I want to share it, and then I'm going to have you talk to it. But also, I want, if you have anything to do with the water right now, I want to bring that, you know, to your ability to say something, because of the fact that it's such an important piece to half full, half empty, since we are made of so much water, right?
We are vibration, and water is the perfect medium to show everybody that we are vibration. Everything we put in feeds our vibration, and our health is fed by our vibration. And water is 90 or more % of our body, so it responds to all the vibrations that are coming in. So there's a whole vibrational scale. And if we're on the upper end of the scale, we're impacting our entire body. We're turning on all our happy hormones, and it's how our vibration is interacting with the world.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to go to we're going to learn a little bit more about those happy hormones. You actually call them something else in here. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the video.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Meyer. I'm a health muse, and I want to talk to you about not one, but 2 jars, and neither of them are half full or half empty. I have one jar that's almost always full and another jar that's almost always empty. So let's talk about the one that's almost always full. This is my joy jar. I fill it up every week with all kinds of wondrous things. And what are they? Self-love, love, gratitude, kindness, glimmers. Glimmers are little things that I used to miss, that used to speed in my brain with the speed of light, but now I don't want to miss them. I want to sit and I want to feel the glow, because all these things turn on my happy hormones and bring me joy. So whether I'm showing myself love by eating the rainbow of all the colors and feeding my body health, or I'm practicing kindness, gratitude, self-love, love, noticing glimmers, laughing, hugging, and doing all the wondrous things that make me happy and bring me joy. There's always room for more in my jar of joy, but it's almost all full. Other jar that isn't half full or half empty, and I am proud to tell you this jar at the moment is empty. What used to go into this jar? Ultra-processed food, which gave me autoimmune disease, which I have now reversed, but it wasn't feeding my body anything that gave me health. And it was turning off all my happy hormones, which was making me anxious and depressed and angry and unhealthy. Anxiety was terrible. hatred would go in this jar. I have worked hard to eliminate all the environmental toxins that made me sick and all the toxic emotions that were making me sick. Now, it doesn't mean that nothing ever gets into this jar, but when it goes in, I make an intention to get it removed as quickly as possible. And that included toxic relationships. I hadn't learned to love myself, so I wasn't pulling in people who could love me the way that I was yearning for. It starts with self-love, and that's how this jar gets empty and the right people come in.
I love that. Okay, talk more. I had to look it up. Glimmers.
I love glimmers so much. That was my great big discovery last year. A glimmer can be a variety of things. It could be a rainbow after a rainstorm. It could be the way my kitty comes and wraps himself around my neck first thing in the morning to give me love. It could be my husband coming in and giving me a 10-second hug, because if it's 10 seconds, my whole brain goes wild with all my happy hormones. And the key is not to miss it, to be conscious that it has happened, and then to sit with it so that you feel the glow, because then your whole world changes and you see everything from the eyes of the glimmer. Flowers, everything that brings you joy is a glimmer, and the key is to sit with it and then share it. We're running back and forth down the hall all day, sharing our glimmers with each other, and they bring us tremendous delight all the time.
I love what Steampunk Poe right here has said with his interesting hat, his fun steampunk hat. My vibe goal is being in flow state. Being in flow state. There goes again, it goes to that whole idea of half full, half empty. And one of the things I want, and thank you for sharing all of that, Cheryl, because one of the things that you really do help us to understand is it feels good to feel good, right? That's your big thing. It feels good. That right there is a vibrational flow. It feels good to feel good. And Christopher, so glad you're with us today. The best way to live is to be like water. Absolutely, 100%. So you did a whole series of books, and yes, I have a few of them. Let's see, just get out here. Yeah, a few of them. I don't want to be dropping any more. Okay, so I've got a few, and it's all about you. You went on a journey, and it really does talk to the half empty, half full, and then you wrote about it for others to be able to journey with you, correct?
Yes, I woke up one morning and I hadn't even been acknowledging how lousy I had been feeling for a long time. Went through my head with the speed of light until the 2x4 came down, and I couldn't get out of bed because everything hurt and I was completely miserable. And my conventional doctor had no idea what went wrong with me, so I started researching. And as I discovered things, I made notes because I want to share it with everybody else, because I don't want anybody to fall into the pit that I fell in, because it took me 5 years to climb out. But when you start feeling fantastic, you are not willing to give it up. So it's not a choice whether or not I'm going to eat rainbow foods anymore. That's part of who I am, because if I don't eat them, my body yells at me, and it should. I do things that make sure that I feel fantastic every day. And then I emanate that out to the world and share it with everybody. I am extraordinarily grateful, and I want to share my joy in kindness and in all the other ways. The upper vibrations, we're all on the same brainwave here. The upper vibrations that bring us and everyone around us joy. And it impacts every aspect of our life. And it aspects our relationships, it impacts our success. When we're in the upper vibrations and we're feeling good, we're having a great life, and everyone around us is enjoying it as well.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? We have an amazing production team here by the way, and I want to shout out to the Fab team. You guys are amazing. And do you mind pulling up one of our hosts that rotates in, Kim O'Neill? She just sent in a comment. And Gloria, if you don't mind, if you want to put that one back up. Yes. Okay, there it is. Okay, that can be E. coli. No, E. coli. Okay, is it E. coli? E. coli internal rewiring to allow ourselves to collaborate. Okay, to feeling good. Okay, so translate for me, please, Cheryl, because I'm sure you can. Like I'm like looking at this and I'm thinking, Kim, you win the prize for being able to say, okay, or Nori, do okay, I see a hand. Angel Marie, go for it. Please, Tracy, because
What she's talking about is that we have markers, we have neural nets, neural pathways, and we also have vibrational fields. This is quantum physics, not woo-woo, it's not Reiki, it's not any of that. And what it is she's talking about is about how to unwind. Now, the lenticular brain function is our memory, and we get stuck on that memory of sadness, of depression, or whatever that might be. And what happens, we have happy ones too, but most of the time we stay in those neural nets. So what she's saying is unwind them. Is to unwind them is a practice. It is not something hard to do. I teach it all the time online and in person, but it's unwinding that vibrational field. When you unwind it, you calibrate, you ignite, you activate, you change it. Remember, Einstein said, energy can never be dissolved. It can merely be change the form of it. And that's what we're doing. It's not your mindset. Everything is about change your mindset. It's none of that. It's none of that. It is actually rewiring by practicing and connecting, yes, your thoughts, but getting out of here. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Let yourself feel it. If you're in sadness, you're in depression, if whatever that might be, but being able to identify all the time, how do I feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? I hope that helps.
Oh, I did, and I see some other nodding, and so I'm going to get all of you guys involved in this. And so, Nori,
Yeah.
you have excellent background. I mean, you come from the scientific side as a nurse. You also are trained in so many different areas beyond a traditional, if you will, medicine. You've gone into, and you are practicing in so many different ways. I'd love to hear what you have to say in regards to this.
I have so many things because I'm so inspired by these beautiful people. The point that I probably didn't make clear enough, which Angel just helped me to realize, is that we have to walk up the emotional vibrational scale. It's really hard to go from despair to bliss. Now, can a quantum leap really happen? It can, but as Abraham Hicks says, it's hard on the body. So that's why, that's why we just go, so I'm thinking that I'm really mad right now. Well, what thought could I think that would feel better? Well, I could think that being mad isn't a bad thing. I got my house clean. So like if you can just find a glimmer in what seems like negativity. And then when Cheryl was talking, I got this vision of all of the water in the body. And if you imagine that all of the water in the body is the soup, right, that our cells are bathed in, our thoughts either sweeten the soup or make it bitter, right? But when the soup is sweet, that's when we tap into epigenetics. That's when we tap into, right, creating new neural networks, which I try to keep it really simple. So I'm just so inspired by everybody here.
I'm loving it. I'm going to get the filmmaker in here because
Yes.
you did a whole movie about this, thoughts and about the frequency. And I want people to really understand Jamie's background because you come from I mean, look at that with the background and everything. You got your drum set right there. You come from music. That's how I met you, is that you were, joined with Gary Miller, and you guys had a passion to help change the world, and make a huge difference when it came to humanity. And you got the rockers involved. It's like, okay, yeah, let's get traditional rockers, and they've got heart, and they understand frequency and such things. Now you've gone on to become a filmmaker as well as a songwriter and a musician, and on and on. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are right now in regards to all of this.
Well, one of the things I think Angel had mentioned was when you're bringing in the water, like it also has to do with how you're bringing the water in. So like one of the things I learned about during making my documentary is there's this guy named Cleve Baxter who had discovered this thing he called primary perception, and it basically has to do with how plants can perceive our emotions. And he would hook a polygraph machine up to these plants, and then they would have reactions to different things that he would do to them. And then one day he's like standing across the room from this plant, and he's like, I think I'm going to burn it. And the plant just like read his thoughts and starts freaking out on this polygraph machine. And so like he did a bunch of experiments and like found out that this is a real thing. But so then he's having dinner one night, and he's like looking around, and he's eating a salad. And he realized these plants are all freaking out that he's eating the salad. And he's like, oh no, I can't even eat vegetables anymore. And but he discovered that if he said grace, if he gave thanks to these plants before he ate them, that they stopped freaking out. It was like they somehow accepted their place in the circle of life. And so the whole idea is that, I mean, it could be a religious thing that has some meaning to it that we just didn't understand, but there's something to giving thanks to what you ingested, and maybe that has something to do with this whole concept. So
Water. If anybody noticed the beep, I said be ready that we might hear it, and so there's my water. So thank you, Jamie. Oh my goodness, and you expanded on something I think that many of us, and I have, I decided, and everybody here, I want to say thank you for playing with me today, because I was like, okay, I'm amongst my friends, guys, I really am, and they're incredible, wonderful, amazing people, and with understanding of all of this. And I was like, let's do something kind of fun. Let's have object lessons. And so, you brought up the heart, and one of the things I did was I created a half full Purple Heart for the Purple Heart Club. Everybody knows what that is, as that know the show well. And thought, okay, yeah, some purple pins in with the purple hearts. And it's full because we're talking about legacy also. And that, the energy and what it is. And when you were talking about giving thanks, having the gratitude, the circle of life. And when we are here, there is a circle of life. And that when we leave, it's not only that we leave, but we can leave with our cups flowing over to then go into the generations to come, those that we've touched. And so I created this one of my little creations, and having some fun. And so when you were talking, I'm like, Purple Hearts, and giving gratitude to, because I'm thinking, man, the salad wouldn't like my house, or the plants wouldn't like my house either, Jamie. But then I do give thanks. So, I was thinking I might get a break there, So thank you for bringing that up. I want to continue right now because and continue with a video that was shared, and right now I think is a perfect time to share it. It's a tribute, and it also is staying within the subject matter that we're sharing today, and about legacy, and that we do leave legacy, and we do touch others, and we are paying a tribute. And it's a special video that actually was helped produced by Angel Marie. And here we go.
11 years ago, I was starting to feel so sad, overwhelmed, and very lonely. And my glass was definitely half empty. When a Reiki student came to me and she said, Angel, it's time for you to have more love and companionship in your life. And Dax left 3 years ago. What do you think? I said, what, I really feel like it's time to have another dog. So I went out to the shelter, and as I saved her from the shelter, she saved me right back. And I know you felt that way, and all of a sudden, both of our cups were being filled. And the fun that we used to have at the lake, oh my gosh. The times with the belly rubs and just laying with her, saying good morning, and being with her. And the love that I had with throwing the ball and the squeaky toys. Oh my gosh, she loved her squeaky toys. She touched so many people with helping me with the Reiki energy healing. And then also being on the front of my book. She will always live on because she is in that book in every chapter about how she feels, and she will always there. And our lives were full, and it was definitely, the cup was so full. And yet, fast forward, with a heavy heart, I faced the difficulty of choice that it was time that she was going to cross over to the Rainbow Bridge. And even though that cup was empty, and I felt empty, I knew that it was time to be and help her, and that it was part of life. And as many of you felt it before, and that when you make that choice, and she's physically gone now, and yeah, some days I feel very empty and my heart just hurts, but yet I feel that beauty that lifts me because I remember all of the beautiful times we had together, and those memories, and that light, and then the people that give me stories about how she helped in the healing. That's what fills my heart now, and that's what fills that cup up. And it's the memories, and it's the touching of that book that I see every day that helps me. And I hope this helps you if you're going through grief, to fill your cup again, and to always feel like your cup can be filled.
Whoa. How you doing?
This is beautiful. It's the first time I got to see that. That's beautiful. Thank you, everyone, for doing that. Yeah.
Beautiful shine. She would travel with you. We've spoken, we've been on stages all over the place and throughout the United States, and she would come with you because she was your service dog and companion, and she would sit with us. We would sit together, and she, it's like, I hung with Shine many a time, and I can speak to that. She was absolutely, you felt the two of you.
Yeah, we definitely were one, and people could feel that because being the service dog, she never left my side for 9 years. She never left my side ever. In the last 2 years, she just couldn't keep up. And I saw that. And you had the honor of actually meeting her and being with her. And she did. She stayed with you. She wanted to be with you. And I'd be like,
yeah, well, we were friends, of course. That's what happens, right?
And I am sure many of you have felt that your cup is empty. And you're like, wait, I know I can fill it, but it's very challenging to do that by yourself. And that was one thing, is that there's so many of you that have come and helped. And when you have this cup that is just totally empty, and I put celebrate always, so positive, but you're able to put the joy in it, and you're able to put all of the beauty of the gratitude, the memories, and you just keep filling those with how powerful and how beautiful you really are, but how life is, and how she helped me and taught me to heal myself, to connect to myself. And she helped so many with the energy healing, my Reiki students, classes. And I have students coming in actually today for a Reiki share, and one of them said, "I don't know, Angel, if I can come in without crying." And I said, "It's okay. Be who you are. But I don't want to upset you." No, don't feel that way, because as we keep filling with all of these beautiful spiritual growths and everything, we feel each other, and it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
to fill your cup.
Thank you for sharing that. I want to open this up to everyone. And yes, and I remember meeting you and meeting Shine the very first time, and connecting right away on multiple different levels. And that it really, and your book, I remember taking it home, and you had given me shine on. We don't have the song going today, guys, but anybody that knows the song knows, raise the vibration, and I'm listening this on the way back from Phoenix, very first time I met you, and then reading your story, and then it's connected to one of my children, and I'm like, I need, I couldn't even get all the way home without that. This is what connection is all about. This is and that's one of the things I really want to bring up with this, guys, is that when you think, I asked the question of all of you out there, and I want you to be asking yourself about your own lives. Is your jar half empty or half full? And then also, I had fun. So I also did another one for my mom, because she was really in, and I was thinking, okay, these are generational jars now. I've got the purple one for the Purple Heart Club, and then I did one with my mom, because I'm thinking, you know what? It's not only just our jars. So then I have to say a miracle happened. And I don't usually do this. In fact, I'm training some people to be show hosts right now. And I'm like, it's not about us. But I'm sorry, I'm going to make it about me right now, because I had a miracle. And that was, I had this, and I was thinking, okay, I'll do another one. And, this is like representing my life and everything. And so then I looked down on the floor, and something that I didn't even know had moved with me. I thought it was still somewhere else. It was right there. And I'm like, and it was this morning. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I looked at it closer, and then it was a DVD. I thought I didn't even have it. I thought it was in a family storage. And then I look at it, and it was when I was on TV at the NBC studios, and the Match Game Hollywood Squares hour, June 22nd through the 27th, 1984. 20 years, or 40 years ago. 20 years. But 40 years ago, almost to the day. And I had been putting it out there that I need to find this, because I kept thinking it's a legacy for my family. I had to just mention this, because this is frequency, guys. This is flow. This is half full, half empty, talking about legacy. I want you all to really think about, your own lives. What is your answer? And I mean, miracles happen. And that's the other thing that I've been noticing a lot lately. Anybody that's around me, I've been sharing that a lot, that it was on the floor in this filming room. How? I can't even answer that.
It's the fairies. The fairies are messing with you.
It's those glimmers. It's the glimmers. So, I needed to share this on air with everyone, because, my heartbeat's going crazy, because, guys, this is real stuff. And we've got science proving it. We've got experts. I'm amongst my friends that are here, that are commenting and are online with us. We've got those that we are memorializing, because they left their legacy overflowing in our lives. Go ahead. I'd like to open it back up.
I'd like
Okay,
to say
sure.
something.
Yeah.
Vibration isn't something we only create internally. Shine was attracted to you because she felt your beautiful energy. We project. When we fill up our jar with all the higher vibrations, that's what we project and that's what we touch the world with. And the world feels it and is attracted to it. If we're in the lower vibrations, we're repelling. When we're in the upper vibrations, beautiful creatures like Shine are attracted to it. People are attracted to it. You need to fill up your jar with all the higher vibrations because that's how you present to the world.
I love it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's so
Who
I'd like
else
to-
would like to say something?
I'd love to jump in if I may.
Please
First,
do.
Shine. I haven't met Shine, but I'm in love with Shine. So there are people going through things right now that may be saying, please keep Shine right there. Be saying, I don't feel great. This just happened. I'm not in the higher vibration. So if you can't be in the higher vibrations, if you could look at Shine. Shine is just okay with everything in that picture. Shine is just taking it in, not having any judgments, not having any thought. So if we could actually get neutral in our feelings, that's as good as being up in the top of the highest vibrations. And the other thing I wanted to mention is don't feel bad about half empty, because sometimes we want to pour out things that we don't want in our life anymore. And when we create the opening, when we create the void, you know what happens? The universe fills it with all those beautiful, magical, wonderful, loving things that we think about.
That's exactly what I was feeling. That's why I didn't even fill this up. I was going to, so thank you for explaining that, because truthfully, in looking at this, it allowed for the miracle. And in doing this, in producing this for Shine, and my love for Angel Marie and everyone, that I think you said it so well, in that right now is a time where, and we all talk this individually, and I want to really address this. Right now, many people are it's a bit of a struggle for many, and yet I am hoping that anybody watching this right now, we're being real and we're being open, and we're also seeing that in it all there are miracles amongst us. I'd like to hear from you, Jamie, because you've worked in so many areas in which some people are like, in fact, that's one of the reasons that you and I became so close, was because of the work that you were doing with Gary Miller. And then I got to know you. I invited you on to Service Heroes, and then you produced something so incredibly beautiful for the Service Heroes and such. And it was because of the work with Rock Against Trafficking, of all things. And that's a tough go. And yet, look at what you did. And in fact, the very first time I ever created an award, a Service Heroes Award, we were at a summit in Los Angeles, and awarded it to the two of you. And then from there, I adopted you. I was like, yeah, no, you're not ever leaving. There you go. You're in my life from this point on. Then I'd love to hear from you now, because of the full circle. You're hearing so much, and you have so much to share.
Well, I mean, it's been really incredible to be able to come on your show and talk with all your guests and stuff. And working with Gary was really great experience. I feel like when you put out all positive energy and good intentions, that's what you're going to attract. And it's you're not going to get back any better than what you're willing to put forth, I feel like. And so if you put out your best and you just try to do good things and help people, then it's a pretty good starting point, at least. Thoughts is a documentary I put out last year, just based on all these different ideas that I had and things I had learned. And actually, you, Tamara, were the driving force to get me to finish that documentary. I had started it a few years back and was kind of sitting on it, and then you had seen a snippet of it online and was like, "We want to get you on the show," so that pushed me to.
Hey, let's get it going. And also, steampunk poets, let's be real. Skip too. He's like, okay, I want to see what he has to offer. And so that's another thing about that it attracts. We attract, that law of attraction. You started it in that clip, the law of attraction. We attract others. And look at this group, guys. Look at this group. I hope that we're sharing this video out to people that need to see it. I have one more offering that I do want to share before we get to the end of the show and then start wrapping it up, because I think it's one of our production team members created this, and I think it beautifully kind of like sums everything up that we're sharing right now, and then we'll start wrapping up the show.
So for this show about whether our glass is half full or half empty, I'm sitting here thinking about this, and today and tonight has been the summer solstice, and I was at a beautiful gathering overlooking the ocean here in Southern California with a wonderful group of people. We sang, we had food and shared our stories together. We shared our light as the light of the sun was shining bright and then going down over the ocean. It was so beautiful. And now I wanted to share this with you, to take with you, that when we are filled with light, our own hearts are filled with that light of the sun and the warmth of love and sharing between ourselves as humans. When the light goes out, guess what? And we'll always have the light still within ourselves that we can share with others and help light our way as well as others. So, happy summer. Enjoy the light. The glass is definitely full, and it's full of light for you and for me.
Thank you, Joy. Our glass is full and fabulous. What say you, panel, my dear friends? Who would like to, I see, Nori, you're about to say something, so I'm going to put you in there first, and then, well, let's see. No, you know what? For some reason, Cheryl, you're in there because it's not allowing me to put Cheryl in Nori yet, so go for it.
If you're in the lower vibration, feed your light. And you can feed your light with all your lifestyle habits. Food, the rainbow, color is vibration, movement is vibration. Add healthy lifestyle habits, and that will start to fill you up and let your light show.
I love it. I love it. Okay, there we go. It works now.
Hello. I was just trying to breathe before, and you thought I wanted to say something. I think if there's anything that I would like to leave with is that my godmother is actually in the next room right now on hospice, and she's so much more there than she is here. But when I look at her, I can still see the light. So for anybody who that resonates with today, I hope you'll receive that as my gift.
Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being here right now, and contributing as you have. I want to say this, and this is part of this too: the half full, half empty. Nori reached out and said, okay, what can I do right now? This is where I'm at. However, I need to be doing something for the collective out there. I need to be serving. I need to be a part of humanity, and you are today. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your love. And and thank you to your godmother, for having her journey here on earth. That is very much a part of what we're talking about today. So thank you very much. I'm going to put you in there, Jamie.
I mean, it seems like the overall theme going on here is it's intentions, it's energy, vibration, and intentions, and it's just put out, some good vibes and good energy, and you can just expect the same in return.
I love it. I love it. Angel Marie, what say you? Because we've got 2 minutes left in the show.
So real quick, is this right out of the Shine On book is about happiness is feeling like you're on vacation all the time. It is always a pattern interrupt, viewers. Everyone out there, we're talking about a lot of intention, and if you're in it and you're in the gunk, I get it. So this is why I want to leave you with that, is happiness is feeling like you're on an adventure or vacation all the time. Feel like that. Be in the vibration. Shift your energy. Movement is lubricant. Get off your butt. You've got this. Change your mindset. Ignite your energy and shine on. I echo everyone's words and echo to you, my beautiful Tamara, soul sister. Thank you for having me and being here. And thank you for that salute to my shy girl. Thank you.
You're welcome. In fact, I didn't do this, so if it's not available, but we've got just a little bit of time. Do you have your Shine On song anywhere close? Nope, that's not even a problem. I mean, that was kind of like a last minute thought. However, the whole idea of shine on is that we can feel that vibration, right? And you wrote that song for that very thing. Did you name Shine after the song? Did you sing the song after Shine?
No, I really did. Shine was already Shine 11 years ago when I started that 7 years ago. So, but it's funny because when I would sing Shine, Shine, Shine On, raise your, she sat right there in that couch. And she would get up every time and come over. She would come over and be, okay, yeah, you're good girl. She was so trained to hear me. But as someone said this morning, Angel, you had your own verbiage because I never said her name. It was hardly ever. It was apate. It was a vibration, right, Jamie? Right, Cheryl? Everything, Nori, what we're talking about, it was a vibration that I had with her, and it wasn't words that anybody had, and nobody could command her because she heard my vibration. And she did that. Just like you, viewers, have someone that you have special in your life. I know Tamara's one I call and say, please pray with me. Please be with me. I'm having a hard time. And she's there every time. And you have people. Reach out. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. So the question again for all of you. When I asked it at the beginning of the show, what is your answer? Yeah. Is it half full, half empty, or do you know? Watch the show until you do. Ask yourself, because the answers will come. The miracles are there, and we're glad you were here with us. Be here next week. We will be. And until then, I'm going to say it. I'm going to utilize it. Shine on. Bye, everyone. I want to say thank you for joining us today and welcome you back next Sunday as we once again are joined by a panel of subject matter experts that will explore and focus in on our fabulous lives. Until next Sunday.